So here I am in Bangalore, India, and I'm in a taxi with 3 other people from the ashram, dressed in white, and going to bless people in the slums of India, schools and hospitals. We're met by some locals. They garland us. We're carrying around the picture of our master. I remember a local in the car yelling out to me, "What are you doing perpetuating this superstition here? You should be ashamed of yourself." I just went namaste and blessed him. He said, "Don't bless me! We should be learning from you, not you perpetuating these superstitious religious rites and rituals." And I thought, how ironic and how beautiful that here I was, a Gora, a European, going around blessing, handing out blessings. I didn't know what to expect. The experiences were extraordinary. I remember being in a school, and they lined up every child in the school, and we went round and we blessed each more than 200 pupils at once. Some small, some big, all grateful. Then we went to the hospital and blessed people in different wards and hospitals for different ailments. We didn't even know what they were. And then, but actually not for their ailments, but just simply blessing, without it being for anything. Then we went into the slums. We saw cows and goats, pigs, sheep, chickens, all manner of animals. One time there was a cow lying down asleep, with a woman lying down asleep next to the cow by the side of a path. We would walk another 15 meters, and every 15 meters there'd be the sounds of another group of children. It seemed like there was a tribe of children every 15 meters. Such was the density of people playing cricket, laughing, having fun, with seemingly nothing. We were invited into their homes. We did all the things you're not supposed to do, including drinking the water. We blessed it first, just with this total feeling of knowing that we were protected through a blanket of grace, and it would have been disrespectful to have refused the offering. And then we began blessing people, one after the other. And in those 3 days we blessed over more than 1,000 people each, more than 1,200. By the 3rd day of blessing, something started to happen. I started to have very sharp insights and intuitions about why I was blessing each person. Oh, this person I'm blessing. I never knew this was a possible consequence. But somehow this accumulation of blessing, whatever it was, whatever the reason, the intuition had gone sky high. Oh, I'm blessing this person for some cancer, for some ailment. I'm blessing this person, again, not for, but I'm blessing this person, and this is the condition this person has. Oh, this person, it's about some past life sanskara. Oh, this person it's about some passover into their next incarnation, which is happening imminently. Person after person I could see who had been abused. All these insights came. Blessings for a past life, for a new life, illness, whatever. But all the time I was simply blessing without it being for anything. And yet this insight about them was coming to me. One man went away with tears in his eyes, came back immediately, held out a 10 rupee note and demanded that I take it. I still to this day do not know. I took it, received it gratefully, and then I gave him back a gift, which also happened to be 10 rupees. The experiences were so moving, and the impact we were having was so palpable without ever having any evidential basis that anything occurred at all. And so naturally, the scientist in me started to doubt these experiences and thought, well, you've got no validation that anything you intuited was actually grounded at all. Could just have been your fantasies, which is true. It could have been. But then the intuitions continued, and this time the intuitions got validated. Dreamily, I asked myself, because I was starting to enjoy being in India a lot and imagining that I could spend more time there. And I thought, should we spend more time in India or go back to New Zealand? And I kid you not, I looked up and I saw this billboard, and it was the name of a cleaning product. And the name of the cleaning product was New Zeal. And I was like, oh, come on. There's no and at the end. Where's the and? I said. I kid you not, the very next billboard I saw said DNA, which is and backwards. The message was clear, go back to New Zealand. I said, okay, that's pretty coincidental. I look in the rear vision mirror of the taxi. I see a motorcyclist. Again, this intuition comes, oh, he's going to hit something. Dismissed it. Then I hear the screeching of brakes. Literally a few seconds later, I turn around and to my horror see this motorcyclist has been cut off by a car and is now heading towards the curb at high speed. He brakes suddenly, the front wheel hits the curb, but at a slow speed. The back wheel goes up and he lands without damage to himself or his bike. That was a new experience. Okay, this intuition seems to be pretty reliable. We get stuck in traffic, as is prone to happen in Bangalore. I say, okay, I'll open my eyes 5 seconds before we start again. I'll even time it. So I timed it. I said, right, 6 minutes 20, traffic will start. I closed my eyes, I went into meditation. I opened my eyes, turned it off. The traffic started immediately. I looked at the iPhone. It said 6 minutes 10, which, plus the 10 seconds it had taken since my first intuitive thought, was exactly the amount of time that had come before the traffic started moving. Until that time in my life, I had always thought that people who got these incredible flashes of insight or intuition were just rarities. Psychics, special people, but not someone like me. No, I didn't have those things happen to me. Suddenly I was one of those people. And I realized in a heartbeat just how often that not only on the three-dimensional world, but in the wider container of life, in the spiritual dimension, we can compare ourselves to others. And that's what I'd been doing. And thinking some other people have some gifts, not me. Which is nonsense, because we're all part of consciousness, so we all have the potential to have access to any intuitive insight at any time. We simply need to find the access point. I just found the access point. "3 days of blessings had bestowed on me the greatest blessings imaginable. When I reflect back on that period, something shifted permanently in me. And that permanent shift was never to, again, judge myself for what I thought was possible in any plane, including the so-called spiritual plane. That anyone had access to any knowledge at any time. But also that it was no big deal that these so-called abilities or siddhis could come to anyone at any time. I hadn't asked for them, and they became less pronounced afterwards, but that I could step into that slipstream of grace and insight as anyone could, and any time. Things we think of as exceptional are in fact very ordinary and everyday.